One. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the October 19th virtual meeting of Chatham's Historic Business District Commission. My name is Daniel Silva. Hopefully this meeting will unfold as follows. As soon as Sarah Clark, the Central Permitting Coordinator, reads Governor's Directive concerning these meetings, we'll do a virtual roll call of the members who are present, and we'll be reviewing the applications this afternoon. The first order of business will be the minutes. As soon as the minutes are approved, we'll move right on to the applications. And we ask that when our clerk, Sam Private, reads your application, you speak up and let your presence be known. All right, Sarah.
Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available shortly hereafter for scheduled and on-demand viewing on any smartphone or tablet device. If anyone else is recording the meeting, please notify the chairman. Pursuant to Governor Baker's July 16, 2022, signing of an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, including the extension of his March 12, 2020 order, suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20 until March 31st, 2023, this meeting of the Historic Business District Commission is being conducted remotely and shall afford adequate alternative means of public access via Microsoft Teams by calling the phone number 1-508-945-4410, conference ID 194-712-655#, or join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. Despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide for real-time access, and we will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. In accordance with town policy, the public can speak to any issue, hearing, or business item on the agenda during the meeting when recognized by the chair.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, as I said, we'll do a poll of the members to see who's present. I think everybody is. All right, to start with, our Vice Chair, Darcy Sequin.
Darcy Sequin is here.
Okay, our clerk, Sam Strivert.
Sam Strivert is here.
Okay, regular member, Bob Burns.
Bob Burns is here.
Okay, regular member, Doug Grattan.
Doug Grattan is here.
Okay, and our first alternate, Steve DeVore.
Steve DeBoer is here.
And Dan Silva, the chairman, is here. All righty, so we have a quorum, obviously. As I said, the first order of business will be the minutes, and those are of October 5th. Does anybody have any amendments they'd like to make to the minutes? Yes, Darcy.
I have just one typo on page 2, about the middle of the page where it says Mr. Roy stated, etc. Barrier is just spelled incorrectly. Should be ER instead of OR. That's all I have.
Thank you, Darcy. Is there anything else? Anybody?
Doug Grattan would like to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented with that change.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Darcy.
Darcy's in favor.
Okay, Sam.
Sam Striver's in favor.
Bob Burns.
I was not there, abstain.
Right, that's true, yep. Doug Grattan.
Doug Grattan votes in favor.
Steve.
Steve DeBoer is in favor.
And Dan Silver is in favor as well. All righty. Our first application, Sam.
Our first application is an addition alteration, 22-92, John Kelly, care of Stella Construction Company, Incorporated. Application to replace 6 windows on the structure located at 2191 Main Street.
Thank you, Sam. All right. Do we have the applicant or a representative here?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Scott Morris, Fellow Construction, and I'm here with Sean Lyden, Fellow Construction.
Very good. So what are you up to?
Just, living life every day. Uh-oh. Oh, what happened? Oh, there we go.
There it is. So, replacing the windows.
Correct. So that's 2 of the 4 on the garage. And if I could please make a correction, this just came to my my understanding several minutes ago. That side of the garage is the 2 windows to the left. That's correct. Those 2, which are directly across from the last photograph.
All righty, let's see what the commission has to state. Steve, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I don't see any problem with this at all. It looks pretty straightforward replacement. What, it looks like they're trimmed in 1x4 or 1x5. Is there any kind of a sill or anything that you're gonna do on the bottom of that? How are you gonna finish the bottom, the bottom edge?
Yeah, there is.
There's a sill to match the existing.
Match the existing, yep.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Doug?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I looked at, looks fine to me. I have no questions.
Okay. Bob?
One question on the grills or no grills on the windows?
Grills,
Grills, and that matches up with the rest of the windows
yes,
on the property?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Darcy?
Just quick question. They're all going to be 8/8,
No, they're 12, these are 12/12.
12/12.
No, that's not possible.
Back. I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
Match.
They're matching. These are 8/8, right?
Yes.
Sorry, these are matching, 8/8.
8/8. Okay, great. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right, all my questions have been answered. All right.
Have you forgotten me?
Oh, I did. I forgot you, Sam. You're way at the top there. Okay.
Well, everybody's asked the appropriate questions about the grills, the sill, and the numbers 8/8. It's a little hard to understand from the photographs, but at least having grills in all 4 windows that you're replacing would be fine. So I'm fine with it.
Thank you, Sam. All right. Yeah. Now I'll chirp in again. I can't. All my questions have been answered. Very good. All right, Doug?
So Doug Grant will make a motion under additions/alterations, application 22-092, John Kelly, care of Stello Construction. Application to replace 6 windows on the structure located at 2191 Main Street as presented.
Darcy Seacon will second the motion.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. Very good. All right, Darcy?
Darcy Seacon approves.
Okay, Sam?
Sam Stryver votes to approve.
Okay, Bob?
Bob Burns votes to approve.
Okay, Doug Grattan?
Doug Grattan votes to approve.
Okay, Steve?
Steve DeBoer would vote to approve.
And Dan Silva votes to approve. Very good. Thank you, folks. All right. Sam?
Yes. Application 2293, Chatham Unitarian Universalist Fellowship Incorporated, care of My Generation Energy. Application to install solar panels to the structure located 819 Main Street.
Again, do we have the representative or the,
This is Abe Boyle with My Generation Energy. Can you hear me?
how you doing? What can you tell us? What can you show us?
I think they're on the packet that we have on page 3. You'll see a layout that we have of the 30 panel array. It's essentially 10/3. They're centered on the roof. It's the same all black panel that we used at St. Christopher's. There is a gracious attic there, which will allow us to keep conduit inside and off the roof. It will be visible from the street, but at the relatively shallow pitch of the roof and the height of the structure, they will not be in anyone's face, for lack of a better term.
Okay, thank you. Darcy? Darcy, would you like to make a comment?
Sorry, I was muted. It's pretty straightforward. We've dealt with this company before. They've always done a great job, so I have no questions and no issues.
All right. Sam,
No questions on my part. The height of the roof, you'd have to be back for coming out of the village market to see them very clearly. So I have no objections to it.
all right. Bob,
Just one question. Are these black over black? Is the trim on the panels black?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Doug,
I have no questions, it's straightforward, so.
Steve,
I have no questions. They've been answered. Thank you.
okay, no, it is Dan Silver. All right, we've worked with the company before. All right, Doug,
So Doug Grant will make a motion under additions and alterations, application 22-093, Chatham Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, Inc., care of My Generation Energy. Application to install solar panels to the structure located at 819 Main Street as presented.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Darcy,
can I just ask
Yes, go ahead.
question? Where does the conduit go? Does it go directly through the roof, or does it go off the end of the house or end of the church?
It's going to go through the roof, but then it'll reappear on the exterior next to the existing conduit that runs from the line in. So we're going to mirror that on the
Okay,
front of the building.
okay. I got no problems. Sorry.
No problem. Okay, anybody else? All right,
Darcy Sequel will second the motion.
okay, motion's made and seconded. And Darcy, your vote.
Darcy votes in favor.
Okay, Sam,
Sam Stryver votes in favor.
okay, Bob Burns,
Bob Burns votes in favor.
Doug Grattan,
Doug Grattan votes in favor.
Steve DeVore,
Steve DeBoer would vote in favor.
and Dan Silver votes in favor. Very good.
Thank you all. I appreciate your time.
No problem. All right, Sam.
The next application is 22-95, Catherine Hamilton, care of Cape Associates Incorporated. Application to replace siding and install a railing on the upper portion of the structure located at 532 Main Street.
Very good. Who do we have here for this?
Daniel, my name is Nicholas Poppy, project manager for Cape Associates.
Hello, Nicholas.
And I'm Scott Hamilton, husband of Catherine Hamilton.
Hello, Scott. All right, what can you folks tell us about this outside of what Sam just read?
So we were called onto this project to replace a leaky roof deck. It had been patched and band-aided many times over the years and has finally failed. So opening this, we found a number of little hiccups that we've been addressing as we move along. We replaced that EPDM roof deck with Kemper, so it's up to snuff. It's good to go. Everything's nice. We still had water leaking, so we stripped off the vinyl siding, and we discovered that the windows in that upper portion were leaking. So we've addressed that. We're wrapped in house wrap, and instead of putting vinyl siding back up, we propose replacing that vinyl siding with 1x4 window trim with a historic sill and cedar shingles. That's one change. And the other change is that parapet wall, because of the age of the building, is low. It's only around 30 inches. So to bring it up to code, we propose an 18-inch cable rail system with matching posts to the neighboring building, as not to obstruct the view from the parapet wall, but as well, it would be really busy at 18 inches with the white balusters. So we hope to eliminate that with the 3 rungs of cable that would go through the railing with a white top rail, much like this, but not a full 30 inches, 36 inches. It would only be 18 inches over the wall. Very limited view from the street, non-obstructive, won't change the appearance of the building, but will give that safety measure for the use of the space to the family or tenants.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Sam, you want to start us off?
I'm just looking through the photographs. What is the wall surface of the second floor? What is that on the that faces the balcony? Currently,
Which portion are you referring to? The top of the parapet wall, or?
oh, I think you said it was vinyl siding on the
Yeah, we
second
pulled
floor.
off vinyl siding, which was installed likely in the 1980s, and it was put over existing siding, which was cedar. So what we'd like to do is go back to cedar and bring it in to match the buildings next to on both sides.
So was it the exterior wall that was leaking? Or
It was the apartment wall and the parapet wall were both leaking. There was also numerous holes in the roof deck. The EPDM that was there is very old. So we've taken those appropriate measures to make sure that's all tended right.
So the windows will be staying. Right?
The windows are staying in place. We are not
It's just the
removing them.
walls.
Yep.
And you're
just the
replacing
cedar.
a clapboard look, clapboard vinyl sidings with red cedars. And the red
That's
cedars
correct.
will be weathering naturally.
It'll be the bleaching oil dipped H.B.C. cedar shingles to mimic that traditional Cape Cod cedar look, and so that they age gray.
Okay.
And we're going with the H.B.C. dipped shingles because of their warranty properties and how well they stand up to weather.
What property?
There's great warranties that come with the dip shingles versus a traditional raw shingle. So it'll prolong the life, and essentially it'll push off having to come back in to readdress anything. It'll also meet the standards of that traditional aging of a shingle. So there's really no difference between the bleaching oil and a white.
Well, warranty doesn't prevent problems. Workmanship.
Well, that's correct.
Warranty just pays for it.
Yes, that's right.
So that's a warranty.
Yeah, we're hoping to prolong the life of them and get more out of it. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you, Sam. Darcy?
I think what you've done is going to certainly enhance the look of the building, and the railing complements the railing next door. So I think it's a great idea. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, Bob?
The railing, is the next door railing the same?
In every way, the next door the neighboring railing is the same, with the exception that they have white balusters that are spaced at 3 to 4 inches, as you can see on the left. If we do balusters around the top on an 18-inch rail, it'll be very busy, almost obstructive, which will catch someone's eye walking from the street. So my proposal with doing a traditional capped rail like the one to the left building there, but instead of balusters, just running the cables to intermittent posts, will eliminate that attraction from the street, and it won't take away from the facade of the existing structure.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I drove by a couple times. I thought it would be nice to try to match the buildings on either side, but with that parapet wall, 18 inches, may not look right. So I'm okay, and I like what you're doing with the cedar.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Doug?
Yeah, I think it's a great improvement to the property, and I like the railing effect you're going to do as well. So I don't have any questions.
All right, Steve?
I'm glad to see that you're going to try to get this back to cedar siding and get rid of the vinyl. I too was going to question the railing, but the fact, I guess, that it's on a parapet wall you're probably right that it would look kind of stubby, short and stubby if you put the balusters in there. So I kind of had the same concerns as some others on the commission, but I think this is probably a good solution. So I'm okay with it.
Wonderful.
Okay, there's still gonna be real, handrails there, right?
Handrails
This
on
is
the
Dan.
parapet wall?
The
I'm
handrails,
sorry.
the handrails are still gonna be present, right?
Correct. Yep.
The top rail.
The top
Yeah.
rail. That's
Okay.
right. It'll
Yep.
be just
Okay.
like this, but instead of 36 inches, it'll just be.
Okay, I'm all for it. Very good. Thank you.
Wonderful.
All right, Doug?
So on the additions and alterations, application
Oh,
22.
excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I just have another question
Really,
before we
Sam?
get into the motion. If you could go back to that other that picture, which shows the existing condition. No, the previous one with there. So I noticed that the vinyl has a J track around the windows and the doors. You're going to have a 1x4, and will you have a 6-inch corner board and a little bit better trimming out of the of that whole exterior second floor?
Correct. 1x4 window trim with historic sills, 1x4, 1x5 corner board,
Okay.
and then the cedar wrap right in. We'll pull all that away so we can properly flash those windows to make sure that everything's okay.
Good. And then the railing will have newel posts, I assume, every 7 or 8 feet or 10 feet or something.
Correct. Every 8 feet will be a newel, and in between every newel at 4-foot increments, we'll have an intermittent post, which is just that in the photo, Sarah. I don't know if you have the photo of the cable railing.
Yeah,
right there.
Just to support.
Correct, just to support the cables.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I wanted to find out.
Great.
Okay, all right. Doug?
All right, so on to additions and alterations, application 22-095, Catherine Hamilton, care of Cape Associates, Inc. Application to replace siding and install a railing on the upper portion of the structure located at 532 Main Street as presented.
Darcy Seacon will second the motion.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All right, Steve?
I would vote to approve as submitted.
Doug?
Doug Ratton votes to approve.
All right, Bob Burns?
Bob Burns votes to approve.
All right, Darcy?
Darcy Sequin votes to approve.
Okay, Sam?
Sam Stryber votes to approve.
Okay, and Dan Silva votes to approve as well. All right, good. Thank you very much, folks. I think that's gonna look good.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, Sam.
22-96, Robert W. Dubus. Application to replace existing doors and windows on the structure located at 85 Stony Hill Road.
All righty, I know Bob is here. You're muted, Bob.
No, you're muted. Muted the microphone.
Press the microphone, Bob. On the bottom of the screen.
Bob, you're actually not muted, but your voice is not coming through.
Sarah, I am seeing a microphone with a line through it for Bob.
No,
Yeah,
see,
me
I see
too.
Bob Dubus and the microphone's open.
Now it's closed.
Sarah, this is Mark. We may want to have Bob leave the meeting and come back in, see if that solves it.
Okay.
Bob, can you hear us? Put your head yes up and down if you can hear us. Okay, buddy. All right. So,
Or he can call in and mute his speakers if that works better.
It was working when he first connected.
yeah.
Right. So Bob, you would call 508-945 4410.
This is-
And then conference ID.
You didn't get the whole number, Sarah.
Oh, 945 or 508-945 4410. Conference ID 194 712 655. Yeah. Hang on, I'll call you in.
We'll wait for Bob to hook up. I know he was here.
Sarah, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Bob.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes. So just mute yourself on the computer so that way you don't get the background.
There, I muted the speaker. Is that better?
Perfect.
All right, this is weird, but anyway, I'm here to put new windows in Uncle Donut's house. It's been in and out of the family for so many years. The windows are rotten. We have a chance to rent it. The former renters left. They left it in a little bit of rough shape, but it's okay. It's an old house. We're gonna put in the exact same windows, only they're vinyl. They're white. They're gonna have a 1x4 trim on them, and we'd like to replace the doors because they're wooden and they've been there a long time and they're bad.
All right. What about the deck, Bob?
The deck was we just replanked it on the side, the back deck, and where you're looking right now, there was a slider in there, and the header was rotten, and the slider fell out. So we replaced already the header because it was dangerous. There were animals that were going in and out of there. We replaced that one window, and we have not replaced the doors yet. But we figured that it was a kind of an emergency to replace that section of the wall.
All right. Okay, let's see what questions I have. Okay, Darren.
It looks pretty straightforward to me. Looks like it's in bad shape, needs repair. So I would definitely be in favor of this.
Okay. Sam?
So I take it you're replacing every door and every window, and
Yeah,
retrimming all of them so that they are 1x4 trim and wood sills and so on and so forth.
That's correct. The houses on each side of that house are the same.
Uh-huh. Well, that's all I'd be concerned about is the trim.
Okay, Bob?
I have no questions.
All right. Doug?
Yeah, it looks fine to me. Great improvement on the property.
Okay, Dave?
It all seems very straightforward. I just wanted to verify that there'll be sills under the windows and not just a picture frame trim.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Other than that, I think it's it's time. So I think this is a good project.
One more question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Are you going to put all the shingles back, the shutters back on?
We are. They're going to be vinyl.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Red ones?
I have one question for you, Sam.
Okay.
Walking down the hill, I looked into the front door, and it's a 9-light front door.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what you thought about putting a 6-light front door, just taking one row off because of the people walking by can look in there.
I think that'd be fine.
Thank you.
All right, where are we? Doug, you got yours? Steve, you got your comment in?
Yep, everything's good.
Okay, good. All right, Doug?
All right, so Doug Brown on additions and alterations will make a motion for application 22-096 Robert W. Dubus. Application to replace existing doors and windows on the structure located at 85 Stony Hill Road as presented.
Actually, Doug, you want to amend that to condition it such that he be allowed to change the 9-light to a 6-light door, front door?
I will amend the motion to allow a 6-light front door in lieu of a 9-light front door.
Thank you.
Darcy Segal will second the motion.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. Darcy?
Darcy Segal votes in favor.
Okay, Sam?
Sam Stryber votes in favor.
Okay, Bob?
Bob Burns votes in favor.
Okay, Doug?
Doug Grattan votes in favor.
Okay, Steve?
Steve DeBoer would be in favor.
And Dan Silver is in favor. Very good. Thank you, Bob.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. Have a pleasant afternoon. Late
You
afternoon.
as well.
Thanks,
Thank
Bob.
you.
Bye-bye now.
All right, Sam.
Okay, we have new construction 22-94 Chatham.
Yeah, done.
You have Chatham Productions LLC, care of Victoria Clark. Application to construct a new dwelling located at 5 Annabelle Lane, Lot 5.
Okay, I
Hello.
saw her here earlier.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good to hear it. So I'm assuming Sarah's going to pull up the drawings, but a little, I guess, information as we've been going through the houses. So this lot is situated against Lot 4, closer to the true cul-de-sac area. So this house is the smallest house of any of the ones we proposed for a total of 3,452 square feet. It is actually 3.5 feet shorter, like overall height, than the house on Lot 4. So it won't be visible behind Lot 4 from the baseball field by any means. Our design choices are pretty similar with materials, as you've probably seen throughout the packets. We've slightly changed the siding color of each house, but for the most part, everything's pretty consistent. If anyone has any questions about the design or about any specific features, I'll gladly take any comments.
All righty, thank you. Bob, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I have no questions. I think it's the changes are good. So thank you.
Okay. Sam?
Victoria, what are the exact changes? Is that on the first floor?
This is a completely different lot. This is not changes to a lot. This is lot 5. I was just giving comparisons. So this lot is further away from the baseball field. It's the one, it abuts lot 4, which was the last house we went over where I came in with the modification.
I'm asking about.
So this is.
I understood what you
Oh,
said.
okay.
The lots are the same. Why would you change the lots? It's the house. What was the former area of the first floor and the former area of the second floor?
I do not believe we actually got around to presenting this house. I know back in November of 2021, we originally presented all of the houses at one time with like a preliminary, and it was really confusing. I can pull up what it was once upon a time, but that was back in November of 2021. And back in November of 2021, oh, I got the wrong thing. Hold on. It was first floor. The original first floor was 2,300 square feet. So now it is 1,812. So it is about 400 square feet smaller.
And the second floor?
The second floor was 2,300 and now it is 1,640. So before the living area was about 4,600 or so, and now it's 3,452.
So the total was 46.
Yes, and now it's 34.
Well, that's a significant. The room
Yes.
is quite large, but I think as long as we're looking at reductions in square footage that is this significant, I think you've practically knocked a third of the area. Something like that, or a quarter of the area off. So, and as far as the design is concerned, the elliptical looks like it's a little bit bigger than the door down below, but that may be because the trim, the heavier line is the cutout of the roof, and it's just a little hard to see because you're missing a line on the right end of the top of the door.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Yes, I know there were, we looked at a few different ellipticals in front of the door, and something that Greg and Mark really wanted to make sure of was that it did not cut into the floor in a way that would have to raise the ceiling heights of the first floor. So I know it is kind of hard to tell, but I'm not.
It's all trim outside the house.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Okay, I don't see anything that is particularly bothersome in the elevations, except that had my caught my eye. Thank you.
Good to know. Thank you.
Excuse me. Darcy?
I think it's fine the way it is. I like the elliptical. I think it looks great. Each house complements one another.
All right. Doug?
Yeah, I think it looks good. I don't have any questions.
Okay, Steve?
I just have two quick, just for my own edification, on the east elevation. If you could bring that up. What just for my own information, what is that stone structure that's sort of in the center of the house? Is that like a vent for the mechanicals or something?
It's a vent for the chimney that is in that living room. Because of how the second floor lays out, with the bedroom being directly above the living room, we could not run the chimney all the way up the wall like we do with the chimney that's off of the study. So it's kind of an outdoor structure that will contain the vents for the chimney. So yes, ventilation.
Okay, that's fine, thank you. And then the wall that's on the right side of the picture, the first floor wall, what is the room that's behind that? Is that part of the, what is that? On the right side of that elevation? Yes.
Right, that is the kitchen. It's above the stove
Oh,
in the
I was gonna
kitchen.
say. Oh,
So that's
okay.
why there's no windows, yeah.
I was gonna ask you if you could put a window in there to kind of balance things out, but if the stove is there, I guess not. Okay, that's
I
all.
understand.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. What are we doing about window schedules, door trim and all that?
I know with the trim, we haven't really, other than when we originally submitted lot 2 and we provide, or lot 4 and 2, when we provided the details of that trim, we've been going with the assumption that the trim would be the same on all of the houses. I can resubmit them to refresh your memory. Obviously, I know it's been a while since we looked at them, but the trim details are going to be the same on all of the houses of the windows and the doors and all of that. But obviously, certain details will be slightly different with the doors and window shapes.
Okay, are you coming back with hardscaping or?
Yes, we plan to. And we the reason we didn't put a patio outside and understand we'll have to come back with hardscaping is because of how the backyard laid out and with all of the different, with that living space being that back jut out, we weren't sure what a personal location, like obviously where a patio and a deck could, a patio or a deck could be, might be a more personal choice because some people might not want it that close to a driveway. So we kind of did it in order to leave it open for interpretation, especially given we'll have to come back with a formal landscape plan as well to begin with, given that the H.B.D.C has control over plantings and fencing and all of that. So we figured that further down the line, we would have that a little more figured out. And this way we understand we'll have to come back.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anybody have any further questions? Anybody at all? All right. Doug?
Under new construction, application 22-094, Chatham Productions LLC, care of Victoria Clark. Application to construct a new dwelling located at 5 Annabelle Lane, lot number 5, as presented.
Darcy Signal will second the motion.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All right. Darcy?
Darcy Sigmund votes in favor.
Okay. Sam?
Sam Stryberg votes in favor.
All right. Bob?
Bob Burns votes in favor.
Okay. Doug?
Doug Grattan votes in favor.
Okay, Steve?
Steve DeBoer would be in favor.
Okay, and Dan Silver is going to abstain. Very good. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks.
Okay. Pre-application conference, Chatham Productions LLC, pre-application conference to discuss potential modifications to structure located at 776 Main Street.
All right. I know that we have somebody here.
Hello. So this is a different perspective. I feel like we've kind of made some good progress about what you guys like about the front. So we're starting to look at the other elements of the building because obviously this is 2 giant structures. So we figured taking it one step at a time is good. So this is the north side perspective. So those would be the windows and doors along the Washington Taylor house are pretty much as existing, as well as adding the dormer we have talked about in the back half of the Washington Taylor house. And then these are the windows we are proposing on the side of the restaurant. So any comments about design we'll gladly take about windows, that sort of thing. We're just looking for feedback.
All right. Sam, can you start us off?
Well, it's, I think showing us, showing us the front elevation is very important because those proportions and those images that are very important to include. But now we come to the side, and without knowing what the front and the back is, it's a little hard to make a judgment. But and specifically, it has to do with the fly loft and the exactly how the little image of what is in back of the whole building, with all the little complicated roof lines and little projections and stuff. It's hard to see how that makes sense. The front of the house, the front of the house, and the side of the restaurant or dining room looks like it makes sense with the front elevation that I can see in my head, but it's a little hard to approve. You really, yeah, there's something. So
I'm sorry, I didn't submit it all together. That is my mistake.
thank you,
I'll do
Sarah.
that for the board.
So it's I guess the only there's the explanation of the little addition to make the restaurant big enough and not have the form have to follow that large footprint. So that makes sense, and the whole thing seems to look great. So it's the fly loft now that you know, I'd say, sure, that's fine, but I don't know what's, I don't know what I'm approving, and because I can't see the rear elevation, but sure.
Good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Darcy?
I have no issues or questions. I think it looks fine.
Okay, Bob?
Can we switch to the front view again? So, okay. No, it seems really good. I like the windows matching, and I think the side elevation from the front looks fine. So I think it's much improved. So I like it. Thank you.
Okay, Doug?
I think it looks great. I don't have any questions or comments.
Okay, Steve?
I think it's all starting to come together. I think it looks great.
Okay, this is Dan. The only problem I have with this view that we have from the side is that you got that long roof. It's a nice roof, but that structure starting to look more like the theater than it is the restaurant. You know, if I drove up, I would assume that huge building was the theater. Was there any thought of putting, you know, breaking it up with doghouse dormers or anything at all?
I think, Sarah, could you go back to the front elevation for a moment? Sorry to make you switch back and forth. Yeah, I think it's, I think we can look at it more. I think part of the reason it's so high was we wanted to match the look of the Washington Taylor house at the front, which is why we gave it the peak it has. If that's something you want to explore not doing, because I believe our original rendering either showed it flat all the way across, because that's not a functional second floor. It was just going to be for, I don't believe the intention was to make it a functional second floor. If anything, it was maybe going to be an attic, but I think the intention when we did that was to mirror the Washington Taylor house itself. So from the street, it looked cohesive, but that's something if you would like us to look into again, we can look at lowering it. It's tough because the Monomoy Theater itself, the shape of the theater is kind of funky, the roof line to get in, but if that's something you want us to explore, we can.
Well, the option isn't to lower the roof. The option is to put some dormers on it.
Okay, yeah. Would you like it to match that what, sorry, I guess.
No, it doesn't have to match those, but because they should be single window dormers, you know, and maybe 3 of them going down the.
Okay, good to know.
or
Perfect.
5 and then 3. Something that gives the relationship to the potato house.
Okay, thank you. That's a great suggestion. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you. The other question I have is, do you intentionally have different color roof shingles on there?
To be honest, I don't know if that was intentional. I think currently on the Washington Taylor house, I do think that the back shingles on the, like a little addition, the second portion of it might be different colored now, and they might have just been matching it. Obviously we can make them, we'll do our best to, obviously we have to come back with materials and colors to get approval. And I'm assuming that will be something we will make them do our best. And I know it depends on the H.B.D.C. as well as if we try and get it registered on as if the Mass Historic and the National Historic gets involved, that also becomes something that comes into play. Because the theater and the house are from different time periods, that might be something that comes up.
Okay, I would think that the dormers and or some sort of cupola thing up there would really work well, just to break up that long roof.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It does. It's starting to look really good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Yes. Who is that? Anybody? Steve? No? Okay. All right, Doug? Actually, this is just a pre-conference hearing, right?
Right.
So you have enough information to come back?
Yes, this was perfect. This was great. I really appreciate it. That's all I needed.
Okay.
It was just more.
Very
opinions.
good. All right, any last questions for us at all? No? Okay, everybody ready? Okay. Sam?
Sam, what?
Oh, other business?
Oh, we were going on. You want me to read it? Other business. Commission discussion regarding fully remote versus hybrid meetings.
Okay, we had some questions. I think we had a member or two that wanted to go back to regular meetings. And Sarah had 3 responses. And so why don't we find out in person? Darcy, how do you feel about it?
Darcy would like to stay remote.
You want to stay remote?
I'd like to stay remote, yes.
Okay. All right, Bob?
My vote was to have not remote, but in person.
In person? Okay. Then we go to Doug.
I would vote to stay remote.
All right. Steve?
I kind of like the hybrid idea, and in-person meeting with the possibility of accessing it remotely. I mean, we had some problems just tonight with an applicant having difficulties communicating with us. So I think if that was done in person, that would eliminate some of those problems. But then you could still have the option, if you either couldn't or didn't want to meet in person, that you would have that option. So I think some sort of a hybrid approach is better.
All right. Sam?
Well, I'm for in person. I think we owe it to the citizenry of Chatham to face them full on. I noticed the current picture. Most of the commissioners are full faced, but Dan, because you do through your phone, generally your mouth is missing from the photographs. I completely understand. And poor Bob Dubus, was fumbling around there for a while. And the technology, I think, gets in the way. Sometimes some people's, you can't make a connection or you get cut off. I think those are things that we don't have to have. And I think I think the primary thing, I understand how convenience makes it. You just, in your house, you turn around and boom, I'm in my office. I just turn around from doing other work and I'm here. I don't have any more dash down terrorizing the populace as I try to make the meeting on time. So I understand that convenience, but I also think we owe them, since the comments we make cost them money, and we do it for the betterment of the town, and we should be present when we make decisions that affect the citizenry's pocketbook.
Thank you, Sam. My feeling about it is that I think there's been more participation from, from the members because they've been able to join the meeting from different areas. I think one person was a lighthouse someplace. So the other is that, it keeps the applicants from having to drive long distances too. So, but either way, they're going to have to show up. Darcy?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a note of the last meeting that we had was, I don't know how many minutes it was, but we would have all had to drive there, have that one application, and then come back. I think the meeting lasted maybe 10 minutes, maybe. And I think it is more convenient for people to plug in if they want to see us rather than drive up and down.
Yeah, okay.
You're muted, Dan. You're muted.
I did, yes. So, what, Darcy, you want to keep it? And then we had, what, 3 that either wanted the hybrid or in person, right? Is that right, Sarah?
Well,
That is correct. So hybrid, if you chose to go back to the large meeting room, that doesn't mean that you still can't participate remotely. So if you happen to be away at a lighthouse, you can still log on to the meeting. It doesn't make the remote option go away. That's still going to be here for applicants and board members alike.
Okay, well, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I heard a primary, yes, Bob.
I would be fine. I would be fine with the hybrid.
Okay, so what do you want to try, folks? You're mixing up now, so. You want to try the hybrid for a couple
I'm
months?
still for the remote.
Another question. What are the rest, Sarah, what are the rest of the committees doing?
So zoning board is hybrid. That's the other board that I staff. Historical commission is also hybrid. Most of the boards are back in person, but we do always offer the hybrid option in case either a board member or an applicant can't get to Chatham or to the meeting, they can participate remotely.
And how many people have to be present to have a quorum?
I believe someone just needs to be in the room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They have a quorum?
Well, no, because so the open meeting law, the governor's order, and the way that this works is we just need to have members either remotely or in person. Same number that we normally, 3 members, show up to either remote or in person, or a combination, in order for us to hold the meeting just as we would in any other situation.
Okay, well, I'm going to offer a proposal that we have the next 3 meetings in a hybrid, just to see how it works. Is that all right with you folks?
Yes.
Is that all right, Sarah?
That is perfectly fine. The agenda for our November 2nd meeting will go to the paper on Friday. So I will update it to, instead of saying fully remote, I will use the, if they'd like to join remotely, here's this option, or come to the annex.
All right, folks, do you understand that? Next 3 meetings?
Okay, I just have a quick question.
Yep.
Sarah, did you say one person had to be in person?
That person could even just be me. I'm here anyways.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm sure you're gonna have 1,000 questions, so Sarah's gonna be busy with you after this meeting, so anyways, the next meeting will be hybrid. Alrighty, we'll see how that works out.
Okay,
Okay, folks?
Yep.
Anything else?
Doug Brown will make a motion to adjourn.
Darcy Seagan will second the motion.
Okay, Darcy,
Darcy votes in favor to adjourn.
Sam,
Sam Stryver votes to adjourn.
okay, Bob,
Bob Burns votes to adjourn.
okay, Doug,
Doug Grattan votes to adjourn.
very good, Steve,
Steve votes to adjourn.
excellent. Thank you, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah.
Have a good night, everyone. See you soon.
You're welcome.